Hello everyone, how are you all? Welcome you all once again to Insights IAS Essay Perspectives. This is Vinay Kumar GB. Let us start the discussion of this week's essay topic. So the topic is a people without the knowledge of their past history, origin and culture is like a tree without roots. So basically it says that if a community of people, a society, if it is not aware of their past, their culture, their origin, so they cannot survive for long. A tree without roots can be uprooted when there is strong wind, or it can be uprooted by itself, by its own weight. So if it is heavy, it can fall on its own. So that is another perspective. So what do you think about it? Like, do you agree with the topic that knowledge is so crucial for one's survival, one's livelihood, one's continuity as a community, and one's unity, and also one's whatever they have accumulated? It can be wealth, it can be tangible, intangible things. So you may go with the topic saying that knowledge for any community of people, any society is extremely important, or you can go against that, saying that knowledge about the past is irrelevant today. So more than knowledge, what is more important is awareness about the present, and awareness about the future is more important for any people to survive, or to create more deeper roots. So then that can be another argument. So you will have to start thinking beyond the literal meaning of the topic. So it is not like deviating from the topic. So in an essay, you have freedom to disagree with the topic, but before you disagree, you will have to clarify in the introduction that this is the meaning of the topic, and you have understood the topic, but however, you don't agree with the topic completely, right? So that is what you will have to clarify more vocally, explicitly, and then move on to justify your stance, right? And wherever you think that it is still relevant, the meaning of the topic, do give certain space to those arguments, do deal with them. Just because you don't agree, just don't go on denying, superficially, or it becomes, even if there are facts to support the counter argument, if you just ignore, or if you just show indifference just for the sake of going with your stance, the essay becomes artificial. So it looks a forcefully written kind of essay. So try to avoid that. So that is where the argument and counter argument comes into play. For every argument, you don't have to write counter argument, but wherever you have solid counter argument with solid evidence, validation, you definitely try to bring it. So this kind of essay shows that you are a original thinker, you are a person of objectivity, and also for a reader it convinces more, right? When you are trying to give both sides of the argument and negate another argument, that is counter argument, with good fact, so it convinces the reader, and it makes them appreciate the way you think about the topic. So just before moving into the discussion, I just want to ask, like, knowledge of present and future is more important, or knowledge of the past? So I already mentioned it. Then what about awareness that we all are one, and we are all part of a very big planet. We are all interconnected with each other, not only with humans but also with all the other living beings. So don't you think that people here should be the entire humanity? So don't you think the awareness that awareness of about our own past, how we humans came into being, like came into humans. There was also denial that we didn't like against Darwinian theory. So people deny that kind of awareness also, even solidly based on scientific evidence. And what happens when we start thinking that entire humanity is one, and though it is a very idealistic utopian kind of thinking, so you can give space to, or you can actually move towards such kind of conclusion. What happens, every group of people, every society, if it starts thinking about its past culture, its origin, and starts glorifying it, saying that their culture, their religion, their community, their society is superior in all the senses compared to all other cultures, right? So what happens, the conflicts arise, people fight each other, and then because they want to show they are superior, they are big, then they want to expand their territory, then they want to accumulate more resources. So that has been the human past, so fighting with each other for territory, for control of resources, and to yield, wield power over one another. That is again because of many factors which we will discuss, misrepresentation, misinterpretation, misinformation, disinformation, and propaganda about one's own past. And so when we talk about people in a society, it is not each and every individual, starting with a small kid to each and every individual in the society. So the society has its own power structures, its own class structures. There are powerful individuals with money, power, muscle, and with access to lots of resources. And there are powerful individuals who are intellectually powerful, who can think, who can twist things in their favor. And that is what the control of education means. So they interpret history in such a way that so it suits only few people, right? So that is another dimension. And then that is what past and its interpretation lead to conflict, power centers. Then culture is a continuous process. Culture, like if you want to dwell and remember your past culture, and if you keep on fighting to preserve that culture, protect that culture, prolong that culture, and perpetuate that culture at any cost, saying that there are certain threats exist within the society to these kind of cultures, then within the broad culture you create your own enemies. Again, that is because you see them as threat to not to your culture but to your your own progression into a powerful being, or your own elevation as a powerful center within the that community. So that is what is all about politics and religious fightings about, right? So culture is actually continuous process. If you interpret culture as a process that keeps evolving continually by imbibing values from other cultures and reinventing its own culture to suit the present times, to suit the futuristic future needs, then you will actually start giving lesser importance to the past. And the past is always a prisoner. That is again another dimension to think about. So when you're planning for the essay, start thinking on these lines. So don't just go blindly justifying the topic with n number of examples. I'm sure some of you might have done that. Like within the Indian, again the topic can be moved beyond India. You can bring Chinese example. You can bring German, Japanese example, American example. You can bring, and of course African, Indian examples here. And then if you have studied anthropology, so many tribal examples can be brought here. So you will go on saying that so we learn this from the past culture, Vedas we learn this, from epics we learn this thing, from Buddhism, from Jainism, from Hindu scriptures, we will learn these things which are more useful. Then again, you say that from our architecture, our paintings, we learn these things, and then our freedom struggle, we brought these things into constitution. We learn these things. So your entire essay is unidimensional here because you are just justifying one idea repeatedly. So that is not an essay, right? So the essays should be more analytical. So within the purview of the topic, go on arguing and identifying layers after layers, which are which uh, kindle which actually make the reader think a lot. So that is the job of the essay. You will have to provoke their thought process, make them question, and sometimes nod to your arguments. So if they are evident from the beginning, as I keep telling again and again, you will definitely score very good marks. Now, when you start, I have told in my previous videos, don't ever ignore the basics of the essays, and that starts with defining keywords. So, knowledge you should define in your own words. Knowledge can be equated to awareness here. The awareness is the more right word, and then there is also differentiating with the wisdom aspect. The essay doesn't talk about wisdom, that is accumulated knowledge of experiences, right? So it is about knowledge, so knowledge of facts. So that is what it actually implies, but also you can equate it with awareness about who we are. So what was the nature of our ancestors? So how did they survive the diseases? How did they survive disasters, natural disasters or man-made disasters? How did they survive wars? How did they survive their own follies, their own struggles? How did they evolve from having limited resources to becoming advanced in their own times? So the knowledge about all these aspects empowers one definitely, right? And then so that is where the benefits of knowledge about the past, knowledge about the culture, is that it unites people, right? It gives identity to people. And as then so that is one layer. Then again, immediately you should ask about the question, as I said earlier, when we talk about people, is it everyone? So there is a beggar in the society. For a beggar, how does the awareness about the past, about his or her culture benefit? So so it doesn't benefit. For beggars, the survival of himself or herself is more important than the survival of their culture. So then the control of knowledge by vested interest, how it happens, why it happens, how it can be prevented. So how, why, and so these are important. Then again, I talked about propaganda, misinformation, disinformation. So how the knowledge gets twisted by certain number of individuals in any society, why it happens. And then education. So we talk about Gurukul system of education, we talk about Vedic education, Vedic maths, we talk about educational values that were there in the past, which are more relevant today. We keep debating how relevant they are today, but we don't ask the question like how important it is to give education to each and every person in the society. So that is important. If education is not, again, what kind of education? The rote learning kind of education, the rote education, or true education about letting know individuals about how they can enable themselves, how they can actually develop themselves, how they can be individuals of more awareness, self awareness in the society, and how they can be more empathetic to each other, how they can help other beings, not only human beings, other beings in the society. So that kind of education we don't talk about, right? If that kind of education is given to everyone, then we will not see the inequality that exists in the society. And inequality is essential for politics to survive, for religion to survive, for a certain number of people to enjoy access to more amount of resources and power. So how can we dismantle that kind of structure, that kind of unequal access to the true kind of education, right? So its utility you have to talk about. Then, as I said earlier, is it about unity? Is it about identity? Like, if you want to know more about knowledge, know more about your past culture, do you think is it for the survival of the entire race, or is it for survival of your unity? Is it survival or furthering of your identity, or creating or forging an identity? Why do you want to do it? So whenever we talk about the past, most of it is something to do with emotional aspects. You stoke the fire of the past glory. Whenever invader comes, intruder comes, imperial hegemonistic powers come and try to attack you, try to control you. So there it can be useful to say that we were once mighty empires. We were once upon a time controlled the huge amount of planet, something like that. Then people charge emotionally, and so they try to unite against the so-called enemy. And the intellectual kind of awareness about it, during freedom struggle, we saw that the intellectual kind of awareness about the past tried to imbibe or try to bring the best thing from other culture, Western culture, into Indian culture. So it saw the progress of India is possible only when we actually move out of our own ill practices, superstitions, blind faith, blind practices, and embrace the better practices. So that is kind of intellectual thing. Emotional aspect doesn't allow us to imbibe even the best things from the enemy or other alien culture, because so anything that is alien is bad, because it harms our the past glory, right? So like that you have to be critical in your essay, ask questions. Then so the past, knowing about the past is important, because we know that what should not be repeated, right, from the past. So for example, now Germans know that Holocaust should not be repeated because it was so horrific, so such a blackest event in the history of mankind. Blackest, I don't know is the right word, like, so they are aware that it should not ever be repeated. So not even repeated even in the psyche of the people. Forget about its physical manifestation. And then what things can be repeated, something related to environment, preserving how there was cohabitation, how there was harmony between humans and environment. So things, how there was optimal use of resources, how people used to live without being too materialistic, maybe can be repeated. There are lessons to be repeated. So the sources can be philosophy, ideals, ideas, the morals, values, principles, teachings, can be oral, can be written. And so preserving them makes a sense, cultural sense, in the sense that it gives a purpose, it gives a reason for the future generations to stick to society as a community, right? So it doesn't allow disintegration of societies. So I just want to give an hypothetical example. For example, you have 1,000 people. Let us say 1,000 people, 1,000 children, so who are like 5 6 year old. So take them to one center, you give them hostel, give all the facilities, but you insulate them from the outside world, and you teach them only something about science and technology and nothing else. No history, no politics, no economics, nothing. You just teach them skills related to science and technology. You teach them basics of physics, mathematics, chemistry, about universe, astrophysics, and everything, right? So after say 15 years, you do the same when these people turn into 20-year-olds, and so what will happen? So they are not aware of their past, they are not aware of history. It's an hypothetical example, like just for your imagination. How will they behave? So if you allow them to create themselves as a community, will they create their own community, right? So how will they turn out to be as individuals or as a community? So how will they treat other cultures? So if somebody goes and tells them, that that Vedas are important, Sanskrit is extremely important today, how will they treat you, right? So if you go and talk about gods and all, so how will they treat you? So it is just an hypothetical example for you to think. So because why I'm asking this thing is that, so there is a possibility that there is a chance that people can still survive without having knowledge about their past culture, or anything related to past, but the kind of life they lead is unpredictable, right? So they can live in harmony with the other cultures, other people, other living beings, or they can just become completely wild, anarchist. They can go very individualistic ways. So that is what slowly we are progressing into, more of individualism, where the society cares less about the other people, other individuals, other cultures, more of its own people, or its own self. So that is where we are moving towards. So in that context, how do you see, say, like after 20 years, 30 years, or 40 years, the value of history, the value of past, the value of culture, where do you see it going? So you can ask these questions also in the essay and try to answer them based on your own knowledge. So yeah, the previous slide was talking about wisdom. You can talk about wisdom also. Wisdom is more important. Wisdom is how you use the knowledge of the past, right? So it's about utilitarian, and you are using it for the benefit of the community, benefit of the people, benefit of the planet. So it's not for vested interests. Then the word culture in the essay must be given a prominent treatment here. Culture gives us creativity, gives us belongingness, helps well-being, because when you are emotionally connected with each other, so it allows physical, psychological, mental, all those well-being, because there are recreations, there is sense of unity, and then it gives identity. It strengthens, creates social capital, strengthens social cohesion, and then of course people can earn livelihood, and then there is example, recreation, tourism, and all those things. So culture has so many benefits. Culture as an entity has benefits. Awareness of the culture strengthens these things, gives more wings to all the things that we discussed about. But as I said earlier, culture is also a continuous process. So if people try to make it stagnant, then it decays. So right, so it has to be continuous, and that is where the role of wisdom comes into picture. So one should allow flexibility within the culture to make it continuous. So there you can start arguing about how the awareness about the future is also important for the survival of the culture. So in which direction we are moving towards. So again, history can give one or two lessons, right? You can interlink like this. So while we are moving towards future, for example, now we are facing pandemic. So 1918 we faced the Spanish flu. Before that was black plague. and before that also there were diseases, which eliminated millions of human beings, and before that there were diseases eliminated the entire races also. So when we move into the future, so what we can learn from such kind of things to preserve our culture, and also within that you can ask like why we need to preserve culture as an entity. Like, can we all like again idealistic one, move into a future where uh, all human beings interconnect with each other and fight for the common causes as a collective uh, beings. So you can ask. So that is the freedom that essay gives. Essay is all about creativity, exploring your imagination, and coming up with very logical ideas. Should be convincing, right? Try to give examples. So, when you move towards the conclusion, you should have clarity that is knowledge about past origin culture is equal to survival, right? So that should be very clear when you move towards the conclusion. So conclusion, what is conclusion? It's not summary of what you have written. Conclusion is you are concluding your ideas, your argument in a very logical note, in a very thoughtful manner. So yeah, so discussed about this. What about present? So how do you reconcile with poverty, inequality, discriminations in the society? So if as long as poverty, inequality, discriminations, all these things exist in any culture, so how does knowledge about the past actually matters, right? So of course, if people who are in the positions of power, if they are aware, they can try to eliminate these things, poverty, inequality, discrimination, but in the real world that doesn't happen. So on the textbook, in the books, in the papers, they uh, portray such an image that they're actually trying to remove these things, but that is not the case in any society. It's not like conspiracy or it's something imaginative what I'm talking about. It is the truth. So even in a very perfect society, even if there is no poverty, you will see some kind of discrimination or some kind of inequality, some kind of divisions in the society always exist. That is very innate to human nature. So imagine that big boss scenario. You put so all 10 wealthy individuals in the big boss, that big bungalow kind of setup. So in the end, you will see 4 or 5 groups emanating from those people. In the starting they try to unite, and then friction start. Then they divide each other because so human is a thinking animal, and he or she has their own needs, requirements, and then so that will lead to conflict, right? And they have insecurities. So to overcome these, you can talk about more than knowledge about the past. What is important is self-awareness is important. Awareness about the planet is more important. Something in the conclusion. Hope this discussion was useful to you. Thank you very much for being patient and listening it very patiently. Hope you will write better essays on these lines, and really bring that thinking dimension in the essays, right? So the thinking aspect must be evident whether in your GS answers, ethics answers, case studies, extremely important in essays. If that thinking dimension is missing, right, you will score very low marks. So wish you all the best. Thank you very much.